look, I understand the specifics of why this derailment happened, and the speculation from the likes of Alan were correct. The derailment was not, the derailment could not have been salvaged or saved by new brakes, for example. I get that. Okay. But ultimately, the reason why I let it slide in most circumstances is because, like, deregulation across the board and defunding infrastructure spending across the board is an inherently reactionary right-wing attitude that both, Republicans champion unapologetically and liberals kind of let it slide or champion themselves. Okay? And it's all in the same vein, which is precisely the reason why I don't hyper-focus on the exact details of the matter. Despite also openly stating that, despite giving you the clarity to understand that it's not just the brakes or anything like that. There's even more to it than that. That's what I'm trying to explain to everybody. It's like one argument that people always talk about with when describing McKinsey and the like, and this is something, this analogy I've used myself, is the analogy of the executioner squad, right? Back in the day, when you used to fucking shoot prisoners, when you would, when you'd line up with guns, okay, and do a firing squad, a part of that policy was to put blanks in certain guns, okay? And the reason for why that was the case is so that no one knew who was actually doing the real shooting of the bullets. And there's a little bit of peace of mind that comes from that. And this like division of labor internally within places like fucking McKinsey work in that respect. So you never know who the real executioner is. So you have like a clear conscience. So when you're working in McKinsey, you might be a numbers cruncher, not realizing that the numbers that you're crunching are responsible for the firing of thousands of people. You know what I mean? And it's the same for this. It's the same exact principle in the Ohio train derailment, or technically they're all the executioner. Yes, I know they're all the executioner, but it offers a clarity of consciousness for a lot of people because they think, oh, I don't know what aspect I'm doing. I'm just a cog in the machine. It's the exact same attitude. It's the exact same sentiment. It's the exact same thing. Whenever you look to a situation like this, there are so many different components that played a significant role in this derailment. And none of it has been fixed, and none of it will be fixed. Okay? And part of the issue is you can't really place your finger on exactly who is to blame here. I mean, obviously, some are more transparently responsible than others. Like the CEO of Norfolk Southern is like a clear villain in this regard, right? Or train lobbyists are clear villains in this regard. But yes, exactly. That compartmentalizing of the horrible things that you engage in is kind of what makes this machine run. Young Matt Damon explains exactly what you're saying.
So why do you think I should work for the National Security Agency?
Well, you'd be working on the cutting edge. You'd be exposed to the kind of technology that you wouldn't see anywhere else because we've classified it. Superstring theory, chaos math, advanced algorithms.
Code breaking.
Well, that's one aspect of what we do.
Oh, come on. I mean, that is what you do. You guys handle 80% of the intelligence workload. You're 7 times the size of the CIA.
We don't like to brag about that, Will. But you're exactly right. So the way I see it, the question isn't, why should you work for the NSA? The question is, why shouldn't you?
Why shouldn't I work for the NSA? It's a tough one. But I'll take a shot. Say I'm working at the NSA and somebody puts a code on my desk, something no one else can break. Maybe I take a shot at it, and maybe I break it. And I'm real happy with myself because I did my job well. But maybe that code was the location of some rebel army in North Africa or the Middle East, and once they have that location, they bomb the village where the rebels are hiding. 1,500 people that I never met, never had no problem with, get killed. Now the politicians are saying, oh, send in the Marines to secure the area because they don't give a shit. won't be their kid over there getting shot, just like it wasn't them when their number got called, because they were all pulling a tour in the National Guard. It'll be some kid from Southie over there taking shrapnel in the ass. He comes back to find that the plant he used to work at got exported to the country he just got back from, and the guy who put the shrapnel in his ass got his old job because he'll work for 15 cents a day and no bathroom breaks. Meanwhile, he realizes the only reason he was over there in the first place was so that we could install a government that would sell us oil at a good price. And of course, the oil companies use a little skirmish over there to scare up domestic oil prices. A cute little ancillary benefit for them, but it ain't helping my buddy at $2.50 a gallon. They're taking their sweet time bringing the oil back, of course. Maybe they even took the liberty of hiring an alcoholic skipper who likes to drink martinis and fucking play slalom with the icebergs. It ain't too long till he hits one, spills the oil, and kills all the sea life in the North Atlantic. So now my buddy's out of work, he can't afford to drive, so he's walking to the fucking job interviews, which sucks because the shrapnel in his ass is giving him chronic hemorrhoids, and meanwhile he's starving because every time he tries to get a bite to eat, the only blue plate special they're serving is North Atlantic scrod with Quaker State. So what did I think? I'm holding out for something better.
Now this man does crypto ads. Brother, do you think he was like actually the person he's portraying in the movie? He's not exactly a genius, okay? It's fucking... The only thing more authentic about this is the fucking accent, okay? That's it. He's acting. I mean, this is great. This is a great bit. It basically described every single thing that I mentioned. And then on top of that, talked about exactly the reason why we engage in such violent measures overseas so we can not only extract natural resources from the third world, but also outsource our production to the same countries that we fucking eviscerate in an effort to make sure that capital owners are and you know, people who bro, you read the fucking movie? What are you talking about? I don't know if he literally wrote this part of the movie. I mean, there's plenty of people who fucking, I don't know. There's plenty of people who write in the movies. He wrote the movie and loved Howard Zinn in real life. He used to be really left-wing. Really? He and Ben Affleck were the writers? Okay, maybe it is him. Maybe you're right. Okay, his fall from grace is devastating then. I'm sorry. A lot of people touch up scripts, though. Like, it doesn't... Every part of this is not... Every part of a movie script is not written directly by the two people that are the main people that wrote the movie. He was a big education union bro because his mom's a teacher. The fuck happened to him then? I always just... Ben and Matt used to be working town kings. Ben became a divorced dad icon and Matt fell from graces. You can write smarter than you are. It actually just takes time.
I figure, fuck it, while I'm at it, why not just shoot my buddy? Take his job, give it to his sworn enemy, hike up gas prices, bomb a village, club a baby seal, hit the hash pipe, and join the National Guard. I could be elected president.
You are correct regarding many hands touching scripts. Is why WGA has procedures to determine who ultimately gets credit. The main touch-up they got was from William Goldman, who told Ben and Matt to cut the part of the script where they are CIA operatives. I swear to God, I'm not joking about this. God damn.
Actor.
What the fuck happened to Matt Damon, dude? How the fuck did this guy literally go from that and being an advocate for teachers unions, being an advocate for Howard Zinn, which is like a level beyond. Like, I'll explain something to you, okay? There's levels to like American progressives, especially normies, who are not like theory bound. Okay? One of the highest levels of like, one of the closest you can get to like being a leftist in the United States of America is when you openly agitate and speak out against American foreign policy. This is not something that most people in the Democratic Party do. It was way more apparent back in the day. There was definitely like a peaceful dove anti-war movement within the Democratic Party, especially when like the main war was being advocated for by Republicans, right? I've talked about this like dramatic shift in the post 9/11 world. Okay. Not to say that like the Democratic Party was anti-war, of course not. But like the 9/11 post 9/11 war on terrorism, the war on terror, the global war on terror, basically eviscerated the remaining anti-war movement that was even in the Democratic Party. Okay? Yeah, when Michael Moore got fucking booed at the Oscars, that's when it was over. Like the liberals, the wealthy liberals in Hollywood were not fucking anti-war at that point, which is why, you know, when I see like any kind of, when I see anyone promote Howard Zinn, that automatically puts you in a different place for me in particular. When I see someone hype up Democracy Now! Like fucking Danny DeVito, you know what I mean? That's like, that is a very, very different type of leftist. I mean, the crypto thing is the only thing he screwed up on, right? He was just paid for an ad. Does he not hold some of the other values today? I mean, he might have gotten duped on the crypto thing, which is fine, whatever. Howard Zinn fan Matt Damon speaks up at last. New York, when Cambridge Cutie turned Hollywood heavy, Matt Damon was in 5th grade. He brought author Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States to school for Columbus Day. My mother had me read the passages about Columbus, Damon wrote to the told the track. That 2 years after Columbus discovered America, more than 100,000 Indians were dead. And I wondered, how is this guy so fucking celebrated that we take a day off from school to bask in his greatness? There was a whole other side to the story. What Columbus did coming here was a big achievement, but there was more to the story. And that was a great lesson to get at an early age. Yeah, I'm doing Bill Burr. Shut the fuck up. It's close enough. It's close enough. Shut the fuck up. How are you? Shut up. Speaking as an old man who was living in Boston around the GWH era, Zinn and Chomsky were local celebs and very well known and read amongst local liberals, not even just leftists. I went to a Chomsky talk at MIT the days after 9/11 to help try to make sense of what had happened. What is wrong with Howard Zinn? Wait, what do you mean what's wrong with him? He's fucking awesome. I love Howard Zinn and Noam Chomsky as well. These people, I mean, I'm sure because he doesn't even get any fucking, because he doesn't get a lot of coverage any longer, that people don't give a shit to, like, you know, shit on him. You know what I mean? In the same way that they kind of always do it for Chomsky. He is literally ancient. Like, this is a man who's the most ancient. Then is a trot. Okay, shut the fuck up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Please stop. Please stop. Do people shit on Chomsky? Yes. Yes, a lot of liberals shit on Noam Chomsky. Yes. Chomsky literally remembers World War II. Bitch, Howard Zinn was in World War II. He's dead now, but like, Howard Zinn's inception and, like, his attitude shift comes from World War II. Yeah. Howard Zinn killed Nazis. He was a bomber. And for him, his perspective shift came from literally bombing civilian territories in Germany. Okay? I don't want to fuck this up exactly, but I'm pretty sure he literally was like, I started realizing that what we were doing in, I think it could have been Dresden, I'm not entirely sure, but like, we were dumping payload into civilian areas where, like, civilian Germans were fucking civilian Germans were being eviscerated. And I thought that that was like unacceptable. Here.
Today we spent.
I'm not gonna listen to like the entire thing, but yeah, after witnessing the horrors of World War II as a bombardier, Zinn became a peace and justice activist who picketed with his students at Spelman College during the Civil Rights Movement and joined in actions such as opposing the Vietnam War. He later spoke out against the U.S. wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. I believe neutrality is impossible because the world is already moving in certain directions. Wars are going on. Children are starving, Zinn said in a 2005 interview. He died in 2010. To be neutral is to collaborate with whatever is going on, allow it to happen. His classic book, A People's History of the United States, retells the country's history from the perspective of everyday people who resisted oppression and exploitation by powerful forces.